Hi, everybody. This is Travis with the Berm Show. This is a podcast where active duty military members and veterans can share their stories, their experiences transitioning from active duty military life into that of a veteran. So please follow, subscribe. Thank you.
Crazy. I see you guys been busy though too, man. You're posting stuff, doing like some I guess like a tent type thing, pop-ups in some locations. So
Yeah, we're trying to do a little bit more nowadays, so it's going good. We got cars and coffee events, and that's perfect for our business model.
that's good. So they've been doing good though. Have been pretty successful doing that stuff, and
Yeah, it's been interesting. It's definitely a slow process, no matter what. You know how it is when you start anything from scratch, and we're starting to get a little bit of momentum. We're starting to find our footing and things that we can go ahead and um, handle within our time frame, because still got a full-time job. I'm about to start another doctorate, plus we got married, so it's like
yeah.
a lot of moving parts.
Oh yeah. I mean, I get that. Like having kids. We have a 4-year-old, a 1-year-old, and then full-time job, and yeah, same thing. Trying to find time to run a podcast or even do it. To be honest, it's like it's been pretty dead.
You've been doing good though, man. From what I saw and everything, it looked great. Like, I mean, all the posts, the things that you're involved with, man. It's been great to watch.
I mean, I kind of went dormant there for a little bit. I just had, man, it was like no freaking time. It was like, like I recorded one podcast, man, at this point, like 2 months ago, and I haven't even got it posted up yet. I kind of feel bad. It's like, fuck, it's like I just, the time and just nonstop going. I mean, you finally do get some time to do anything. You just don't feel like doing anything. So
exactly. We the same thing for us. Like we kind of went dormant as well too, especially because we got married, and then we spent so much time trying to get things organized on our end, doing our honeymoon. But yeah, it's tough. This first part of this year has just been hard to get back into motions and what we need to do.
Yeah, that's kind of the hard part. If you take like any break from doing anything, trying to pick it back up and get rolling again, it's such a freaking pain in the ass. It's so freaking difficult.
Yeah.
And when you do it, it feels good though. It's like finally, like I just recorded last weekend too, and it's like, man, this feels good to get back in the groove a little bit. Like actually having some conversations with some freaking veterans. It's kind of nice, man. Kind of missed it there for a minute.
I'm sorry, but I haven't seen the recent ones. I've been so busy myself. But who are you talking to recently?
Oh man, so I've had one I'm gonna try to get posted up today was with the folks in Moon Rock. So I got to talk to. One was a Navy veteran, an Army veteran. So that one was pretty cool because they started like a rock kind of climbing thing, and try to help veterans transition and finding that thing to be a part of, the camaraderie and stuff when they transition. And he was saying something like they even try to get folks that are like in the delayed entry program to kind of go there too, so they have something to come back to when they get out. I was like, man, that's kind of like creating that foundation already, so they're not just when they get out, trying to figure out who to talk to or what to do. They kind of have that group to fall back on.
Yeah, that's great, man. Wow,
badass. Because you know how it is. I mean, you get out, besides family, there's not, or maybe some friends. That's all you really got,
Yeah. When you step back out, I mean, it's the friends, the experience and things that you've done they've never seen or been involved or even understand sometimes. And I remember that when I had my first coming home type of thing.
Yeah.
And I just remembered like it was you knew where they were going to go, and you knew they were going to get married to that high school lover and have a family and everything. And it's awesome to watch. Like they actually did do that and have kids and everything. But then like you come in and they're like, "What have you been up to?" And it's like, well, shit. Shall we start down the list? It's a great experience, and all of them have always asked and always say like, I wish I would have gone, but they had a family or got married, and more important responsibilities than what we had at the time when we were in, or got lucky to have someone that was comfortable with that. So it's an interesting meetup with those people. I agree
Yeah,
on
it
that.
is. And then, like, times have totally changed too, man. Like, I mean, I've been out. I think it's gonna be my 12th year this coming December. It's like
Nice.
like just the stuff that other veterans are doing. I guess that's part of social media, though. Also,
Yeah.
it wasn't too big 12 years ago. I think it was still just Facebook, but nobody was really doing
Facebook.
stuff socially. Like, you'd have to go
Yep.
seek it out. Now you can just
Exactly.
you get like things that pop up on your feed, and it's like, oh man, that's kind of cool and interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something you could be a part of and check out.
Yeah.
Like, there's way more options, it seems like.
Yeah, that algorithm that they use to find and match to what it works. It really does. It's really creepy. I mean, many people always say like, "What is this?" Like as if they're reading my mind. Like, how did you know I was thinking about this toaster? And but like I'm digging like just recently, like me and the wifey. It's been a long couple of weeks since we've been back from our honeymoon, and we were like, we need a break, and so we were talking about this thing in downtown San Diego, or near downtown San Diego. It's called Foodies, where all these vendors and everyone are going to be coming together and doing like this like kind of like food festival for the this whole weekend. So we're like, okay, we'll do that, but would have never saw that if it wasn't for that algorithm in Instagram sending me the link.
That's crazy how that shit works, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how, to be honest, like I've come across like a lot of I think that's how I even came across your thing. Like, it just like suggestions on like who to follow and stuff. I'm like, oh crap, Veterans Brewing. All right, let's check it out. Like, it's so weird. That's like a majority of how I find anybody that can possibly have on. It's like it just pops up. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, something different.
Yeah, I agree, and I mean I'm glad that it worked that way, because I've met so many random and interesting people. I just met this one lady, and it's a really cool thing. It's EVLC. And what she does is she specifically made this EV company to where people can learn, including veterans as well too. She has like all these like workshops and stuff like that. And I was just like, man, it came out of nowhere too, when just one of those random people, and super sweet lady. She's helping out the community and everything. And I was just like, you know what? We'll be working soon together.
That's cool. It's a trip how that stuff just like pops up like that, and you meet people that way. It's worked out pretty good. Like even like Adam at Lower 22 Vets. Now I think he calls it Foxhole Vets now, or Foxhole Lounge. But I had him on last week, talking to him again. It's like, man, it's crazy. Like, you're one of the first people I've had on. Now we talk all the time, and just how that stuff works out. It's kind of cool, man. It's such a trip, because like I've never actually met him in person.
Yeah.
Just kind of like some friendships that you can build along the way.
Yeah, it's really great to just watch so many people kind of just finding their niche. I think that was something we talked about last time, was just just watching someone build that little world. And I work with a bank, and it's not like my full-time job, and helping out people. I've gotten so many veterans recently, just out of nowhere. Veterans were like, you know what? Let's do this. I'm not tired of the corporate world, and they create their own thing. And from contractors to gyms to, oh gosh, just everything. Event coordinator for this one woman. She was amazing, and it's been cool to watch. Like, and because I have a little bit experience in like setting up a couple of businesses in the past, I've been helping them get everything organized and watching them grow. It's so cool, man. It's so cool finding so many people just doing their little world. I'm digging it. I really am digging it.
It is, man. Like, I was actually listening to another veteran podcast called like I think Semi-Professional or something like that, veteran.
Yeah.
Man, and he had a guy on there that kind of did the same thing. Like, he got out a little bit older, and I think he said he was like 32 or something, wife and kids, and kind of struggle to find his groove, but then found like a mentor, and now he's like this high level investor, or a decent level investor. I can't remember how much high, how many businesses off the top of my head, but there's multiple businesses that he's invested in. I was like, man, that's
Nice.
fucking cool that you can like,
Hell yeah.
I don't know, find a pivot, and that quickly, or even just like you're probably like it sounded like he was stressing out when he got out with a family, when you've had that steady paycheck for let's call it like 8 years, and then
and the medication and doctor visits and everything that comes along with that. Woo.
Yeah. That's one of those things you forget about, is the free health and dental that you get. Not that it's top level, but man, it's free, it's like,
hey, exactly. And a friend's, or technically he's a brother-in-law. He the same thing, went through that as well too, and he got married, had a kid, and military helped take care of everything. So I'm over here, we're trying to start a family. I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna cost me like 20 grand to start a family. Like, I'm not ready.
I can tell you right now, man, kids are freaking expensive. Not even just like, it's not the food, it's not the clothes, it's the daycares and all that stuff. Like our son's finally getting into kindergarten. Like he's gonna be in kindergarten this coming fall. So we're like, man, finally, because preschool is like $875 a month, and that's like, so we are already thinking of like projects, like, okay, what are we going to do with that 875 extra bucks? Yeah, man, we can have some fun.
Oh yeah,
like our daughter's like $1,000 a month. It's like, when we did our taxes, we like added everything up, or my wife did. She's like, man, it's like a third of our income.
Yeah,
childcare. I was like, man,
gosh, I'm learning slowly, like all the bills. That's and I know my wife, she's going to be contributing, but I know I'm going to have to handle quite a bit of the load. And I'm just like, oh my god, how much do I got to pay? How much are diapers? What? It only lasts, that box only lasts like a few days.
Hell yeah. Oh, so like when you get on your freaking baby shower, you see all those diapers, you're like, oh man, it's going to last forever. Man, a newborn shits like 12 times a day. So you're flying through them diapers.
Oh man,
nonstop. And then before you know, you got to buy diapers, and they're like $45 a pop right there. It's like,
I saw a link to any of your viewers that are just about to have a baby. Pampers Club has, I guess there's an app where you can get free diapers along the way after you buy something or something. I don't know. I was like, okay, I'll remember that one. Because man, I just, I've always wanted to be a dad. I'm very lucky to have the wife that wants the family, and I'm just terrified of like that whole new lifestyle, man. I give you guys props. That's amazing what you guys are doing.
It's not easy, man, but it's fun. Yeah, I told my wife before we had kids, I was like, if I'm going to be older, like for me, it was like 29 was my cut, or 30 was my cutoff. I was like, once I turned 30, I was like, that's it. I was like, either starting now or we're not doing it. But yeah, we had our son. My son was born when I was 29. I was like, all right, he made the cut. So now, and then we had our daughter. So there's times I'm just like, man, we see like friends that are married and they have no kids, and they're going like all these nice trips everywhere. I'm just like, man, that could be us. Though. That could be us. We could be in like in Greece right now, drinking some freaking margaritas or sangrias on the beach, having a good old time. But no, it's awesome. It is.
My sister always makes jokes because she was going to buy a Tesla, and then she got pregnant, and her response was, she's like, "This is our little Tesla. This is where the money went."
Oh yeah, basically. I mean, like I said, yeah. I mean, when we do the math, a month we're paying almost $2,000 in childcare. That's like another house.
Yeah.
We talk about all the time, like, shit, we could have 2 homes right now.
Exactly. You could have covered that vacation home easily.
Yeah, we could be renting one out somewhere right now and just buying property up. But I mean, when you think of what you could be doing versus what you're doing, I guess it's whatever. It's fun as hell.
Exactly. It's just more for fun, and it's the wife always, she's like, you always bring up the whole like, I wanted to be a pilot. That was what I was thinking. It's like, it was just a dream, but reality, I got a great life. And she's like, yeah, but feels like as if you didn't. I was like, no, I did. I appreciate everything I got. I'm really happy. My biggest thing is just I liked having that, um, having that dream, and where I'm at now, it's like it was comparable. I got a great, great life now, and so it's she just you know what I mean? Like it's just one of those things you have in your mind, and you're just like, that was a cool thing, cool idea, but this world I have is pretty fucking awesome.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah, it's
hard
easy
to
to
just
get.
remind yourself.
Yeah, it's easy to get stuck in like, oh, what you could be doing or what you wanted to do versus what you're doing and what you have currently.
Exactly.
That's one of those things that I feel like for most people, the older you get, the more you realize that stuff. Because when you're young and you miss out on an opportunity, it kind of sticks with you a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, it happens to everybody. I feel like regardless if you're veteran or military, I'm sure in all walks of life that happens. Like
Oh yeah. When I was in college, I didn't know I had this amazing mentor, Dr. Sawyer. He just all around amazing person. His family. I don't know. Did you ever watch that movie Red Tails?
no.
With there's a movie. It's about the first like African American pilots, like, and it's not Tail, excuse me. It's a movie, and it kind of just goes over. And one of the main people that were in there was Sawyer, and that was his great great grandfather, I think it was, and he it's just amazing his experiences and everything. And I didn't know, and everyone was like, "You're an idiot." I don't know how you didn't see it. But he was like, he's like, if there's anything you ever need, he's like, let me know. He's like, and I wasn't listening because or to the whole conversation prior was me talking about like, yeah, still looking for a job, this and that. And I didn't know, but he was basically trying to offer me a job. I was just like, no. I was like, I got this. This is no problem. This is what I do. And he's like, all right. Left it alone. But then later on, he's like, yeah, I was ready to hire you when I was like, oh, fuck, that would have been a great life. I didn't even think about it. But now after I was like, I mean, I have my world and I'm very happy, but I was just like, oh, what? I was like, oh, wow. I totally wasn't even thinking that's what it was about. So
That's right.
But he's a cool guy. That's a really interesting story that he has. I'm impressed with his little life. He helped create not just one, not two, but I think 3 universities from scratch.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he's a badass. I mean, he did the what's it called? The Academy for the military or something. I can't remember exactly how, but wound up going to get his master's, his doctorate, and then helped start a university in Florida. I can't remember which university. I keep thinking UCF, but that's not it. It's something else. And then started another one in Texas, and then one in California, which is how I met him. At CSU Channel Islands in Ventura.
Oh,
yeah, great school and everything. And that's just such an interesting story. I mean, imagine having created not one, but 3 universities, that have thousands of students going through it on an annual basis, just amazing to think of what some people are doing in the world,
Yeah, that's a trip, Yeah, you do think of it like that because all those young people are now getting college degrees and stuff because you built something for them to attain it. That's like pretty badass to hang your hat on,
Fuck yeah. He retired in southern Texas, and I've been meaning to fly out there. I've been telling him for the longest time, and if he ever watches it, don't worry, Doc. I'll make sure to cruise down. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he'll convince you to stay down there, probably.
Yeah.
Everybody's flocking out California, man.
Serious, I was shocked, and I got friends that went everywhere. That was a crazy thing when all this COVID, shit happened. Holy hell. Tennessee, Montana, Missouri, Texas, Florida, Nevada, Arizona, the list goes on. I'm just like, I know they downplay it really hard on the news and everything, but everyone I knew, I mean, unbelievable of just how many people were like, fuck this, I'm out. Peace.
Part of me wonder, like, how many, like, agricultural, like, individuals live, because man, like my parents live up in Northern California, so I make that drive, on the 99 or the 5 freeway, so I see all the citrus groves and stuff like that. The last few times I've made that drive, man, they're like dead. There's nothing growing anymore. So I'm like, fuck, do they say deuces too? Like they just like, we're getting the hell out of here, It's like probably too expensive to run a farm or an orchard or a grove. So they're like, I'm getting out here, going somewhere else where I can do it for fucking cheap. And
exactly.
Tax probably up the ass. Like,
man, don't remind me. Oh gosh, I had one of my clients. He just paid, and mind you, he makes a lot of money, which is great, but just paid $380,000 in taxes. I was like, what?
It makes you wonder where it goes to, man. Like it does, doesn't it? Makes you wonder, like,
oh gosh, man, it's. I try not to complain. I mean, because we do live in California, which is a very beautiful place. But shit, I mean, I just paid it was almost $6 a gallon for my truck that has a 33-gallon tank.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, fuck. Couldn't believe it. I was like, son of a bitch. And then as I drive on the freeway to get on the on-ramp, there's 2 massive potholes, at least a solid 6 inches deep. And if it wasn't for my truck, having these, monster tires on the damn thing, I know I would have bent a rim on it every time I hop on. It's just, oh gosh. And, I'm paying $6 a gallon, but you can't fix the fucking hole? Come on, guys.
Yeah, that dude just paid $380K, and it's like, where the hell's the freaking, the roads, man. That's a freaking real problem in California. It really is. Like, not even just in SoCal. When I go up to like Northern California, I was like, what the fuck are we doing here, man? These roads are fucking horrendous. And if it's raining, you can't even see the damn pothole till you run it over. So it's like,
exactly.
There goes your tire,
Exactly. Like, oh man, like they recently here in North County, San Diego, when we got hit with those heavy rains, it created a sinkhole right underneath the freeway. And so they're like, oh, don't worry, we'll fix it. It'll be ready by Monday, which was like 7 days later. I was like, no fucking way. No way. I've been in Florida. I know sinkholes. I know how long it takes. We look at months. And everybody's like, no. I'm like, watch. And then literally that was, what was it? Like, I think that was a month and a half ago, and they're still working on it. Yeah.
And anybody that doesn't know, in San Diego, you need to get on freeways to get anywhere too. Like, that's how you travel in San Diego. Everything's freeway.
Exactly. It's the only way to get around. And that main one, a lot of people were coming from the coast or to the coast. It disrupted. I mean, to this day, it's still just terrible trying to get there and back. So all the side streets are now, overloaded. And just to get anywhere, you have to add another like half hour minimal to your drive time prior to freeway shutting down. So I got coworkers, they use the freeway every day, and now they're like, yeah, I have to leave at least 30 minutes. One time she had to leave 50 minutes because it was raining in advance of her 20-minute drive. 50 minutes on top. So it was an hour and 10-minute drive, which should have been only 20 minutes. She was just like, what the? It's like, yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, but that would suck. Cause San Diego, that's like besides the trolley system, that's the only way you can really get around,
Exactly.
I mean, luckily, if you have the time, I guess a trolley, it sounds like it might be faster. That drops you off just about everywhere in San Diego. So, yeah.
Hey, sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good. That sucks though, man. That's freaking rough.
You're up there in Riverside, right?
Yeah, I'm close to Palm Springs, kind of like I'm right before, like 30 minutes before Palm Springs, and
nice.
Yeah, kind of by the mountains a little bit.
Nice, man. It gets hot out there, man, but it's just beautiful. I love that open space. Me and the wife, we were talking, and we're trying to see if we can get another like land or property to do something out there. So
well, it sucks. So they're building out here like crazy. So it used to be pretty small townish, you know, for the most part. But now they got like right off the freeway over here, they got a couple of warehouses that popped up, and then thousands of new homes over here. And of course, they don't build any infrastructure for it. It's just like, hey,
nope.
this town that probably had a few thousand people in it, let's build, I don't know, 4,000 homes, 5,000 homes, and then not expand the roads, not fix the on ramps and off ramps. So it's like, shit, man, you can't even just drive anymore. It's like freaking crazy as hell. There's too many damn people in this little area. It's like, shit. And then a lot of them are from like, I'm assuming like LA, because we have like a lot of wildlife out here.
Yeah.
And our Ring doorbell, I swear, man, these notifications are like the stupidest things. They're like, oh, there's a coyote outside. It's like, well, have you looked outside your window? There's a mountain right there. Like,
right there. See that?
Literally right there. It came down like when we had the fires like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
Right here in Beaumont, that's where I'm at. And it was like, people are like, oh, mountain lions are been spotted. I'm like, well, wow. Yeah, their freaking house is just burnt down, man. They live up there.
Oh,
so
man. Gosh.
Hide your dogs and stuff. It's like, well, yeah, no shit. Look where you're living. Like,
exactly.
Before we moved here, I could tell that there's wildlife here. It's like, there's snow on the mountains. We're right here, man. We're right in the thick of it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we get all kinds of shit, though, man. We got possums, raccoons, coyotes. There's supposedly bear around here. I haven't seen any bear before, but I can tell you right now, the raccoons don't give a shit. One was on a roof. This was maybe like 5 months ago.
Yeah.
And it woke me up in the middle of the night, so I went outside and I got my flashlight, look on the roof, and it turned around, looked at me. I grabbed a rock, and I freaking beamed it. I hit it hard as hell, thinking it would like scare it away.
Yeah.
Hell no. I went down to grab another one. It started coming right towards me. I was like, oh, shit. I beelined right back into the house. I'm like, all right, fuck that.
Oh, wow.
Do your thing, raccoon. I don't care what you're doing.
Serious, man. And it's, I what was this? Some people are saying the same thing that have left California. Someone was in Montana, and she had her dogs out all day, and they slowly were getting picked off. She had like 5 like little wiener dogs. I was like, okay, so you left out a bunch of hot dogs for some wild animals. She left them out all day on a regular basis, and then came home, and one would be disappearing. She's like, oh, someone please. And then she finally put up a camera, and it was a mountain lion that came down, was like, thank you, and grabbed and took off. So it's just how it is.
Imagine being those dogs, though. You're seeing like your buddy get picked off. You're like, shit, man, she keeps bringing us out here. We're just getting one at a time.
It's crazy. And the ones that went to Florida, walking their dogs out by the water, not understanding you are in Florida. And every once in a while, just someone's dog just gets picked off and, screaming and everything. I'm like, well, they're like, what do we do? Like, you can't do nothing. You shouldn't be walking your water like that. And
like, even you shouldn't be by the water like that. Like, fuck.
Yeah. One of them was like, because this has happened a couple of times now from people from California that moved. I mean, I feel bad, but at the same time, I'm like, you guys, like, you can't trust anything that's in the water, period. It's Florida.
They have a college called Florida Gators for a reason, like.
Exactly, they will crawl everywhere. I'll never forget, we got rid of one on NAS Jacksonville on the base because he got comfortable because a bunch of people were always feeding him like the chicken bones at the little restaurant that's right on the golf course. And so homeboy would just hang out, wait, and everybody would feed him. They're like, okay, this guy's getting way too comfortable. So they got him. They moved him down to south of St. Augustine, which is like a 40-minute drive at least. Homeboy knew how to get all the way back up and was found like a week and a half later. And someone finally got smart and was like, okay, let's move him down to the Everglades. But like, they know if the food's here, they're going to come through. And it's an animal. It's going to want to find a way to survive.
It's like, shit, you're giving it, it doesn't even have to work for food. So why would he want to freaking leave? He's like, shit, man, I got the hookup.
Exactly.
It's almost like being in the zoo, but having the freedom to do whatever you want still.
Exactly, man. So, but I mean, yeah, that wildlife, man, that's everywhere nowadays. And as we're growing and we go yeah, I want the mountain view. Well, the mountain view has a couple of other things that comes with it, you
Yeah.
know. And, oof, gosh, I'm sorry that your neighbors and yourself too.
But man, I went hiking
Yeah.
a while back. Right there's this like path that cuts kind of by the mountains. I was like, well, it'd be kind of nice. I went by myself. I had my tomahawk with me and stuff. I was like prepared. But man, it was all brush. Like it was all open and plain. And as you go, it just like trees are just covering everything. So I was like, oh crap, man, this is like a tight path too. It wasn't a wide path. It was really narrow. It's like I hear like things moving in the bushes. Like I swear to God, man, a mountain lion comes out at me. I start walking with it. I was like, if somebody walks by me, they're gonna think I'm fucking crazy. But I'm just like, I was holding that thing ready to go. But it's just shit ton of deer, man. It was kind of crazy. I was like,
Wow.
we just got everything in this little town, man. We got so much shit.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it was a weird hike too. There was an abandoned like house in the middle of this hike. That kind of freaked me out a little bit. I was like, oh,
nice. As always with those random hikes too. Those are the cool ones. You just get like you get awesome photos as well too. And but it's just like what is going on, man? It's probably going to be a murderer in there somewhere.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not going to even go buy that house. I turned around and went right back. I was like, I'm out. See you later, man. The freaking deer scaring the shit out of me. And I was like, I'm not ready for this because they got like black bear and stuff, I think, over in this area. And I've heard black bear are aggressive. I don't know if that's true, but
they can be. I mean, I do a little bit of hunting, and so you have to. The one that I'm trying to go for this upcoming year is going to be black bear as well too. And what I'm learning is that they can be they like their area and they like having their space, and that I've seen some footage. Especially, did you see that one recently where the guy was like hiking and then he climbed up a rock and the bear's charging at him? He kicks the bear in the face.
No, holy shit though.
Yeah. Oh man, you got to check it out. It is a trip. The guy was on a hike and he saw a bear or something, so he starts climbing up the rocks, and the bear.
No. Yeah, I did see that one. Yeah.
I can't remember how it starts, but I just remember he's up there and he's like, and the bear's like, "You're mine, buddy." He kicks him in the face. He comes back up and then he kicks him again or something. And he's like, "All right, fine. I'll wait until you get down or something." But
yeah, because it looked like after he kicked him, he kind of like chilled a little bit by the bottom, like the base of the rock, but it trucked. Like those things are. I think that's what deceives people, man. They're fast as fuck, man. You're not out running a bear on like flat land.
Hell no.
No, black bears, I think, climb trees too. So it's like, man, like you're not necessarily safe by climbing shit,
Exactly. Yeah. It's just one of those things, man. Like I'm looking forward to doing a bear hunt recently, my buddy. And we did Idaho, and that was badass. I mean, shout out to Idaho. Wow, that was a gorgeous country. We went to this place called Riggins. And that was where we like kind of like set up whatever we need, and then we head on up to the mountains and head out. But wow, man, black bears! I'll never forget. We were searching for like 4 days, and just glassing, one on one side of the mountain, looking at another, just constantly looking. And on our 4th day, we're like, "Fuck, man!" My buddy, who's like, he prides himself as being a hunter. And he's like, I fucking suck at this. I don't know what I'm doing. I was like, dude, it'll show up when it shows up. Enjoy the view, please. And he's like, no, I put all this time and effort trying to get. And then we're just sitting there, and out of nowhere, I don't know what happened, but I do remember the sun kind of popped out just for a bit. And in 5 minutes, he's like, bear. And then he glasses over to like maybe like a half a mile away, bear. Another quarter, if that, bear. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm just catching all of these bears on this mountainside. And that's what we're hunting. Oh my God. We went back into town. We're like, hey, we now got our spot. We now found them after 4 fucking days. And we go up and I'll never forget it too. This is always my favorite story of my hunting trip. I was getting pissed off, but I was like, fuck, it was my fault. The hikes were like 20-mile hikes.
Oh damn!
One way, so it was a pretty rough hike.
You have to earn it.
Fuck yeah! And then you're having to go off trail, and it's like a solid 45-degree incline that you're crawling up, and it's all shale rocks and shit like that. So we're climbing up this thing. I got my hiking poles, everything's sliding. We're trying to be quiet, making a shit ton of fucking noise. Well, we get all the way up to this spot that we kind of saw. It was like a little ledge that was really close that you can see the open area where he was going after a bunch of little flowers. And we're like, okay, we'll hang out by the ledge and just go from there. We get there, we set up, we relax. Sun pops up, nothing. Sun disappears, starts raining a bit. Sun comes back out, still nothing. He's like, man, fuck this. He's like, I want to know what's on the other side of the mountain. And it was only another maybe half a mile up, quarter mile up. And he's like, you know what, I'm going to go. I was like, dude, I think you should just wait. Well, my dumbass, he told me, he was like, hey, you know, we got to be light because we're going to be moving a lot on this trip. And I was like, all right. He's like, I think we should just bring one rifle. And I was like, all right. So we brought his. His is awesome. I got a Tika, but his, I can't remember the name. It just was beautiful. Hair triggers like a half a pound. You just barely touch it. It goes off. But amazing rifle. He brought that. Well, he took it with him up the mountain. Lo and behold, he goes over. The sun pops out and the fucking bear comes out. And I'm like, I don't have my rifle. He has it. He's gone. And I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. I'm watching this thing. It munches and does his thing. And he looks up and he does like this little nose thing. I can tell he's sniffing the air. And I can tell he smells us. And so he books it and turns around and left. And I'll never forget that bear because I didn't know. I thought black bears were just like black. I didn't know, but they also come in like a dark chocolate. And he had a really interesting one. He had like a maroon red rust coat and then dark arms. I was like, oh my God, I want you so bad for a rug. I want you so bad. And he was just, he popped up, ate a couple, smelled the air, and then took off. And I was like, fuck, it is what it is. So yeah, I missed out on that. And he comes back down and he's like, what's going on? I was like, no, it was fucking right here. Maybe like 150 yards away. I was like, if that motherfucker would have charged me, I would have been fucked. But it was right there. And I'm just like, fuck. And so we checked the area for another 2-3 more days and couldn't find nothing. But then that son of a bitch, 2 weeks later, he tries again, that same area, and catches the motherfucker. Shit. I was like, you fucking asshole, that was mine.
This is crazy though, man. Like, cause you don't know, huh? When you go, like, you might leave empty-handed. I mean, you're not guaranteed to get anything.
Yeah. So there's like a bunch of guys that we follow, and they will always say, if you go out 4 to 6 times and you get one, you're doing great. Which sounds terrible. I mean, because you want to go out, you want to bring something home, but they say like on a regular basis, you're going to get skunked. And
it's like having a batting average, basically. You know,
exactly.
It looks ugly. You think 3 for 10's an ugly ass number, but in baseball terms, and I guess hunting, you know, that's pretty damn good.
Exactly. You know, I get it too. So it's at the very least, and what I always tell people, like I always post on my personal Instagram, some of the shots and the views. They're beautiful. And at the very least, I mean, you get to go and see some interesting country out here. I mean, wow. We're supposed to do Oregon for another bear hunt next year. And then we did Washington, but Idaho, man, that was a beautiful country. Cold as fuck. Cold as fuck.
I made that trip for work a couple of years ago. I think I flew into Utah and I drove to Idaho or something like that. But it was like a one stretch, like one lane freeway or highway, and it was beautiful, man. But it was like all cutting through the mountains, and occasionally there'd be like a house out there, and I was just like, man, that got to be so freaking nice, dude. Just so quiet, you know?
Oh yeah, yeah. And that's what I love. And I was looking at it, like you can buy like 2 acres, close to the river, if not on the river, for like 80 grand. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, the river's crazy, man. Like, because I went to Ogden, Utah as part of it, but man, where's the place in Idaho I went to? I can't remember the town. But the plant the company I used to work for, the plant that they had, the river ran right behind the plant, and they said the old plant manager used to bring his boat to work and dock it. And I was like, man, that's so badass. Like, hey, babe, I'm going to work. Let me Let me jump on my boat real quick. Like,
that's
damn,
a way to go to work right there for sure.
Right, that's a gig, dude. I was like, that is so sick.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? I didn't know, because I was always under the impression that salmon came from the ocean and then swam into the rivers. I don't know how in the middle of Idaho that they got salmon out there as well too.
Huh.
I
Yeah,
don't
no,
know.
in California we get them like in Northern California. There's what's that area? Man, I used to go there all the time. Knight's Ferry, where they come and spawn every year.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
wow. I gotta check that
So
out.
that's kind of cool because I mean that's really the only time you see them.
Yeah.
The spawning season, but yeah, they come in bunches, man. There's so many of them. I'm not sure how the river looks these days, but I mean when it's full,
Yeah.
you get a lot of them, and everybody goes out there, and you know it was always like a big spectacle to go see them growing up.
That's cool.
Yeah, because they always go back to where they were born. Supposedly.
Yeah. Like that's amazing. Like how it just knows. Like, but somehow I can catch it with a little hook with a piece of hair on it. Like so smart to travel thousands and thousands of miles, but for some reason I throw this little hook with a piece of shirt on it, and he'll swallow it. Like crazy little things, but
no shit, right? Yeah, that's a weird way to put it. Like they are smart and dumb at the same time, I guess. Like because. No,
exactly.
you catch one, throw it back in, and catch another one like right after you just released one, or if you kept it, whatever the deal is, like you can catch one right after catching one. Sometimes, like fuck, do you not just see your buddy get pulled out of the water? You're like, let me see what this is all about. Where's he going?
Man, that would be amazing. What do you got? Let me hold some.
That must have been great, man. He got yanked out of the water. It was great. Yeah, I never really thought of it like that. But
but I was impressed, man. If there was a place to move, I think that would be a beautiful place in Idaho. Can't deal with that cold though, man. That winter time cold, shit.
Yeah, I was going up there like in, God, I want to say it was like February and March and stuff like that. It was ice cold. The town I was at was a small town. I wish I could remember the name of it. It was it had a cool little downtown spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was badass. A river ran basically through the little town and stuff. It was such a badass little town. I even told my wife, I was like, I could definitely live here.
Yeah.
Like this place is so freaking cool. Everybody's nice. Every store I went to, everybody was like, they'd wave. In California, it's like fucking throwing the bird and shit. Like nobody really cares about you. But everybody's hella nice there, man. I liked it, and the drive was beautiful. The speed limit was like 80 miles per hour. I was like, damn, this is good. I can get used to this. I'm pretty sure they got wolves there, man. I swear to God, I saw a wolf on the side of the road that got hit. Like that thing was a big ass fucking dog. Those things are huge.
I didn't know they were that big until I actually went to San Diego Zoo, I think is where I saw it at. And man, there were some monsters, dude. Like it makes a full-size bull mastiff look like a fucking poodle.
Yeah.
Like holy shit.
That's what because I've seen them like at the zoo. San Diego Zoo got some good ones, and then they have like some out here in the Palm Desert area, but they're like desert coyotes or wolves type deal, so they're not like that big. But man, that one I saw on the side of the road, that thing was like a fucking miniature car. That's what it looked like. Like you're screwed. Like I used to think like, oh yeah, I could kick the shit out of a wolf, and then I saw one. Like hell no, dude.
Oh man, Dave. Every time when I think about them, just like man, that's one thing. I know that they did it. They put like a group in like Yellowstone, and I've been watching those things. Did you that TV show actually Yellowstone actually was kind of like a good representation? Like I didn't know, but there's like these groups, and they all have like their own like little pocket that land that they oversee. And that's amazing, like how smart these little animals are.
I know some people are saying it's an issue bringing them bringing them back in because they're killing everything, but I mean,
it's no matter what. I'm now finding people are just going to complain about everything.
That's very true.
Motherfuckers, like come on, dude. Like no matter what you do, in this world. I know probably someone's going to complain about something that we said in this podcast. Watch.
Oh
Something.
yeah. That's why I just
like his hat.
I leave comments. I turn comments off.
It's like, I mean, I get it. Like, there's so many things, but like, you really is your life really that difficult? Like, where you got to complain about it? Like, I mean, I just don't. We just recently went to what's one called Egypt, and I mean, I don't know if most people understand, but that's like a third world country. That fucking place is. It's a beautiful place, but people are living day to day trying to make it. And
Damn.
any way they can fucking, sell or get something, they'll do it in a heartbeat. And my wife, she's never traveled before. And so when we went there, she was just like, oh my God. It's like, yeah, this is how a lot of people in this world are just trying to survive. Do you think that they give a flying rat's ass because of what, Caitlyn Jenner said or whatever the fuck? No, they don't care. They don't even know who that person is. They're just trying to fucking survive.
Yeah, they got real issues.
Problems. What we got.
Yeah, they got real day to day trying to freaking get food in their bellies type situations. That's how a lot of the world is. Like, it's funny because my boss had just asked me this. He's like, so does the rest of the world really like not like Americans? I was like, fuck yeah. Like, I was like, a lot of places I went to, they did not like us, man. I was like, there's just that negative image that we have because we do stress stupid shit like that. Like, oh, this celebrity said that. Like, oh my God.
Did you hear? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Man, what the fuck, man? Shut up. It's fine. Life is good.
Yeah. It's like we don't got it that bad, man. It's a pretty sweet gig, most Americans, let's say, like, you got an apartment, maybe you're rubbing pennies together, but shit, you still got a roof over your head. You probably got a bed or something to lay on.
I got a lot more than most people too. It's such a good life that we have. It's just, I get it. It is really hard to watch a lot of other people progress, or they say whatever.
Yeah. You
literally are enjoying your afternoon, in a home with air condition, on a flat screen TV, and having a microwave meal, a fridge, first of all, and a microwave meal, it's not the perfect life, but it's a good life, Yeah. I got literally over there's like people just struggling and hoping, and their kids in some cases, they're just like trying to find a way to make a buck so they can get something to eat. And I'm like, we got a good life. And so wifey, she loved the idea of everything of what we did, but she just was like, she definitely got an eye opener. I think that was a big piece that I love that came from that trip.
Yeah, that's what I tell a lot of people. Like, man, maybe my perspective and like yours, a lot of veterans' perspectives on the world are different just because we've seen so much of the world.
Yeah.
Like I remember coming back from deployment. I was so freaking happy to be back home. I was like, oh, thank God we're back here, man. I was like going to kiss the fucking ground. I was like, thank you, Jesus, man. The first thing I got was In-N-Out cheeseburger. I was like, this is fucking crazy, like I miss California. I was like, where's my damn burger at?
Exactly.
And, it's the perspective on just everywhere is so different. Like,
oh yeah.
You hear, like you're saying, you hear all these people complaining about the stupidest fucking things. I mean, whatever, like I don't get hung up on what any celebrity says, but I don't follow any either to know enough what they say or what they do anyways.
Yeah.
It's like, got my own shit going on.
I gotta admit, I mean, we got a great little thing going on and over here. And I think it's important for a lot of people to travel, and not just to the nice places of where everyone's like going to, but like that whole Middle East, technically Egypt, but going there and actually seeing that type of lifestyle, it opened up a lot of just views and perspectives with my wife, and even a good reminder for myself, like, I got a job that lets me do all of this. I'm a professor as well too. I got, I own a business. I got this world where I can enjoy, live, and prosper, grow. I got an opportunity to grow.
Yeah.
And these people over there, holy shit. And I think that's one reason why, like, you hear about a lot of like immigrants that come here and they get so successful and everything's because they had to really live that hard life. that hard fucking life.
Yeah.
You know, and then now they're here and they're like, what do I gotta do? Yeah, what's the opportunity? I'm going.
And the crazy thing is, a lot of those ones are like the proudest. They end up becoming like the proudest Americans when they become citizens and stuff. Man, they're like fucking so pumped to be a citizen, you know, and like contribute to the country and stuff. So a lot of those folks get pissed off at people born here. You know, they're like,
like,
man, like you're saying,
you have the opportunity. You know, I don't know if I mentioned it on the last time, but there's a friend I have who loved to death. He was from India, born and raised, but he remembers, you know, Slumdog Millionaire.
Oh yeah,
that was his lifestyle. That's how he used to be, that kid. And so he's like, you know, this is what I had and stuff. Now he's married, has kids. He's a dentist. He owns multiple practices and locations, businesses and stuff. He's doing amazing. Why? Because that work ethic, that lifestyle that you had before, now being translated into, you know, something, you know, tangible here. And homeboy's, you know, pulling in, like, I'm guessing probably about 400, 500K a year, all because, you know, he saw the opportunity, was like, I'm doing that.
Yeah, I mean, like, even here though, like some of the stories you hear, like, are, I guess you can say, that happened, are kind of from like that same kind of situation, you know, like you hear, whether it's like a professional athlete or,
you know,
some type of individual, you know, that makes it, a lot of them have had like those times where they're like super poor growing up, living in a car with like their parents or their mom, and they see that shit and they turn it into fuel to freaking something else, you know, to succeed, because they realize maybe at some point that, hey, we got opportunities here to really change our life around. Maybe I can do it for my parents.
Exactly. You know, it's one of the few places where you can, you know. I can't remember what country, but there was a gentleman where his lifestyle, his business was killing rats in the fields. So he would create like a small fire, blow the smoke, and he's inhaling it into the hole to get them to come out, and then he'd go and whack them and kill them. And for each one, it came out to supposedly like 50 cents a rat. Whatever rat he killed, he got 50 cents for, is what it came down to. Well, because of the income being so low, he would eat the rats. That was how he was surviving. That's how he fed his family. And then the money they had would help pay for the overhead. But because of all the inhalation of smoke, they're saying that he won't live past 35. And his kids, because I can't remember what country it was, but that his kids, I remember this because I was just like, holy shit. Since his family only did that, that's all that kid is technically going to be able to accomplish in his life. So it's like generational, you know, it just stays flat. It doesn't grow. And I was just like, man, in America, we got the opportunity. You can be whoever and have the opportunity to still make something of yourself. Over there, I can't remember. I keep thinking it was like India or a country near India, because it just was just one of those things you hear and you're just like, man, that's fucked up, you know? No opportunity whatsoever.
Well, it's like hearing, it's almost something like you would hear or see back in like when you had kings and queens and you had like peasants, you know, you're just a peasant forever. That's all you do. Your dad was a peasant, your grandpa was a peasant, you're a peasant. Like your kid's going to be a peasant. Like there's no growth.
Yeah.
At all.
That's such a sad thing. You know, I'm in America, you know, shit, right now, anyone can just create a business from scratch and start doing something. You know, and,
you got an idea. I mean, you can fucking start an LLC, get that shit going. And I mean, there's so many outlets to even start things. And you can get shirts made by companies. You could really get the ball rolling really quick, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's insane. You just got to want to do it though. That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a pain, you know, but now I'm looking like for like those that are like doing like maybe construction or some type of labor. I've been now learning a lot more on business development. And I've been telling a lot of people like, yo, don't worry about doing much. Just get your sole proprietorship. Just get the DBA. that gives you your footing to go ahead and start growing. I didn't know how cheap it was until recently. $30, $30, and you can start your own business. That is fucking awesome. And so there's a guy, I've been watching him. I started him in January, and he's an immigrant, but he got his Social Security number, or his tax ID number, got it, and he bought a couple of like lawn care equipment, lawnmower, shit like that, and all that crap. Got everything that he needed, and slowly but surely, finally was able to break away to start his own business. And so it's just a small lawn care business. He went from making maybe $2,000, maybe $2,500 a month, to where he's making right around, I would say, $3,000 a week. And I'm so impressed. I've been watching him, and I just helped him get the LLC, so this way it doesn't put his personal assets in liability. I helped him get that all organized for the LLC, and we just put all that account together, and now he's off again, and hopefully grows even more. And he's like, I'm going to hire someone to help out because I got my jobs are just too much now. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude, hell yeah, you're hiring now.
That's when you made it, huh? When you're hiring people, that's when you can say like, holy shit.
Yeah, I was like, hell yeah, man, 6 months, and he understood. He's like, just whatever the price, whatever the market is, just go a hair under and fucking do the best you can at that. You'll set your clientele right there. And he did that, and then just picked one after another. He was like, I'll be in the middle, spraying or putting nutrients in. And people will be watching me do my work and how much I care. And then he's like, people will stop and be like, hey, do you have a business card? And he's like, yeah. And at the time, he only had like a little notepad. And he just gave it to them. And he's like, yeah, I'm trying to start it off. And he's like, we'd love to have you. I need someone. And so now he's like, it's crazy to see how much he's grown. And now we are able to get him organized to where he's going to get T-shirts and logos on the car or the truck and all out. It's just, I'm so proud to have watched this guy in 6 months. He went from having 4 clients, which was just enough to cover the bills. And now he's somewhere in the 40s or 50s. And and he's clearing great. And so it's impressive, man. It's just a beautiful thing to watch. And, an immigrant as well. He's been here for a while, and then finally got everything organized to where he had his citizenship and whatnot. And so helped him get the DBA, got it on to the next. I was like, fuck yeah, man.
Well, see, that's what's cool, because how many people would like on that journey just stop, like if they hit a rough patch,
yes,
they'd be like, oh, it's too hard. I can't get over this certain obstacles. And then they just chuck deuces on it, go back to what they're doing or do something completely different.
Exactly. And he, and the crazy part out of all of this, and I give him so much prop, he's married and he has 3 kids. One of them, he just had a baby too. And he's like, I got to make something for myself and for my family. And I'm just like, bro, that's a beautiful thing to watch. Like, to see someone actually make it. And he put the work in though. Like he would get Sunday mornings, because he was very church going, Sunday mornings off just so he can go to church and then back to it. And now, because the money's coming in and now they're able to cover stuff, they got a place because I guess they were in a 2-bedroom apartment. Damn. The 2-bedroom apartment was $2,700 a month. Yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy nowadays. $2,700 a month. So he got that. He finally got into something where it's a house, and it was $3,000 for 3 bedrooms and a garage. And so he's really happy with where he's at. But yeah, he's like, you know what? I have the money to where I now notice I can hire someone. And I was like, hell yeah. So you got the LLC organized, and here we are to the next step. And yeah, it's awesome, man. I really dig my job. I did not think that this was going to be as cool as it was to watch someone or somebody build from scratch. That is fucking cool, dude. It really is.
And then, what the cool thing is with that, I'm sure the guys that he hires, they probably have aspirations to start their own thing eventually too.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of like the paying it forward type of deal.
Oh yeah.
You know, maybe they'll start their own business too, and it's like, okay, that's
Yeah,
cool,
man. Yeah, I got a couple of vets that were doing online business. They're doing that Amazon, like you get some product and you push it onto Amazon and you sell. And that's been impressive to watch. Like I saw one, he found a backpack, like a little, it's that modern, I call it the man purse, where it's just like a little wrap right here on your chest. And that's what he sells. And shit, he's doing great, man. Homeboy's now pulling in right around like 10 grand a month just in sales in profits. So I'm glad to hear that worked out, you know. But then I also have other ones where the niche wasn't that great, and they're maybe pulling in about $800, $1,000 a month. And yeah, but again, you know, to is their own. Whatever they want to do is we rock it. So I'm looking forward to watching more like vets grow and do this shit, man. Start a business. That's the thing I think people need to do. That's a great opportunity for people.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I wonder how. I'm not sure if you've seen the whole Navy thing too. Like how many people are going to be joining the military these days? They had like you see that?
Yeah.
Fucking Navy, man. I was like, here we go. You know?
I know. So many things and decisions that's being made by, I think, that's just trying to kiss ass and not take care of the responsibilities of what it's needed for our brothers and sisters, man. You know,
I don't know, man. I don't get the direction sometimes, man. Like, I was reading some articles about that whole freaking commercial or whatever, trying to get more Navy folks or people to join the Navy.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I don't know. They're like, what type of, I don't know. Like, what's it turning into? You know, is it a military or is it kind of like a, you know, and it's kind of sad because for the folks that are still in, I'm sure they're just like, fuck this. Like, you're going to weed out all the people that want to be there, I think.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. And I got buddies that are still in. I'm just not a couple. I got quite a few people. You know how it is. You know, you got that group of people that you know, and they're just like, don't fucking know. I'm not going to fucking care. I'm going to do my thing. But the changes that make no sense. And what was it? They changed like the uniform like 6 times, like some bullshit in the past like couple of years. Like,
I noticed they changed the dress whites, man. I was at
they did
the air show over here in like Hemet area. They had the Air Force one going on.
Nice.
And the Navy was there. You know, I have all these booths and stuff set up. The Navy was there. Their dress whites are different now. They have like blue, like embroidery on the bottom, on the flat part of it. I don't remember. I gotta look at mine, but I don't remember having it on there.
No, man. It was just like a straight white shirt. That's what I remember. Straight white with the normal button in the front for the dress whites.
Yeah. So it was like, I was like, oh, that's different. I was like, it looked kind of cool, but like, I don't know. How much money wins did that change, you know?
Exactly. How much money did we spend and waste on that shit? I don't think that was a problem for anyone. As far as I remember, that was not a problem. No one cared a flying rat's ass about anything with the dress whites.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the whole mental and struggles and all that, I think that was a little bit more prevalent and important for many people in.
Well, like I was in when they went from like utilities to the camo stuff. I was a part of that transition. I only got one set of camos, man. Like they give you that allowance, and then you see the price of like the uniform. Like, dude, I'm gonna get a shirt. What the hell am I getting with this? Like, this ain't covering nothing, man. What the
hell no, God. But to each their own. It's I do think that there's a lot of wasteful spending that's going on for sure. I mean, we all saw it while we were in. They would say many times, whatever's in the budget, burn it all. They're like, I don't care what it is. If we got everything we need, there's leftover, burn it all. I'm like, man, that's the waste that we had and shit. I couldn't believe it. I didn't need 50 boxes of pins. Fucking stupid, some of this shit.
It's like, why not? Why not have 50 boxes of pins? You're gonna be writing like a son of a bitch, man. But everything's all on Excel sheets. And it's like, wait, put it on an Excel sheet.
Yeah.
Those pins just sit there in that box.
God damn. But it is what it is, man. I hope everything gets a little bit better for them, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the direction where it's heading is just a little sketchy, you know.
Yeah, everything's getting a little sketchy though, man. You know,
Yeah.
there's times where I'm just like happy, where I'm like, all right, I'm just in my own little world, you know. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Like I don't watch the news anymore. Nothing, man. It's just not that I ever really did, but
either way, man, that's a smart one because all I know is like if people that have been that kind of like tainted the fucking news channels. It sounds like some of them are getting fired and shit, which is great to hear on both ends, both CNN and Fox. Thank God, get rid of all the motherfuckers. You know, they terrible, just like the shit that they're spewing out of their mouth, and everyone got a bunch of low end people. They're just like, oh yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah, they take it for face value. You know, like I think that's one of the major problems with too. Like I know we're talking kind of just how America is in general compared to other countries, but a lot of them, it seems like the populace just takes everything at face value. Like, man, there's no freaking research done on like anybody's own opinion. Like they don't have their thought is not their own thought. Like they took it from somebody else and they're like, oh man, that's the truth, or they heard it. It's like, fuck, man.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's just crazy.
Not even the fucking weatherman. Can't trust none of them. Like, to me, that is probably the best job you can have if you don't give a flying rat's fuck that comes out of your mouth. Because no matter what, even if you're wrong, you still got a job. Like, I don't understand this shit.
Well, it's all like guesstimating too. They're like, oh, chance of rain tomorrow. Oh, so is it? You're saying there's a chance, man. Like,
yeah.
So if it does or doesn't, they're like, well, I said there was a chance. I didn't say it was going to.
Yeah, they said it was going to be sunny. I think it was on Thursday or Wednesday. Oh, it's going to be a sunny day. Half the fucking day it was raining. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Like,
yeah.
And it was on no news channel, or it was on the news channel. They were like, oh, a sunny day, sun pop out at 10 o'clock in the morning, so you could enjoy the weather. At 11:30, it's still fucking pouring. I'm like, it's just ridiculous, man. So those assholes, they got a fucking easy life, man. You can be a shitty ass person, still not be successful at all, and still got a job, 6 figures probably too.
Because you don't need like the voice to be like the anchor or anything. You know how like every news anchor has like the voice. Like man, when you're the weather dude, you can just be up there. You can be fucking drunk for all I know. You're just up there playing at this green screen. This shit right here, it's gonna rain. Maybe. The clouds are kind of there, but they're not. I don't know if they're rain clouds. I don't know what's going on.
Back to you, John.
Yeah. Yep. He's like pointing the wrong way and shit. Yeah, back to you. They're like, we're over here. Yep. Over there, whatever.
I swear, man. I swear. But yeah, hey, if that gets the paycheck coming in, fuck it,
Hell yeah.
Gosh. I'm digging the world that I got though on this. The coffee company's been doing better on a lot of things. We're trying to do more teas, and then this year we're going to be doing a full brand new truck, fully covered with or designed, and then a slide-in trailer. So I'll have all the tools and stuff that we need to sell coffee at like farmers markets and cars and coffee events. So it's something that we're looking forward to because we're thinking about 2, maybe 3 years, we'll go ahead and do brick and mortar again. But right now we're focusing on doing a little bit more personal growth. And yeah, man, but again, at the same time, I keep fucking up too. I was thinking about that just recently, was that I got a brand new coffee bean from Nicaragua, and oh my God, I cannot get this son of a bitch right. Like flavor wise, just seems too dry, too acidic, or not acidic. It just sucks. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out things nowadays. I'm just like, what am I going to do? And it's one of those things that I think so many people get complacent with their job. Like, oh, it is what it is. And this business, the little coffee business that I own, you kind of have to adjust in whatever you need for things. that's an interesting thing, with new businesses. You have to adjust and find something new to help separate you from the pack. What are you doing for your end, for the podcast that separates you?
Shit, I haven't done anything lately, to be honest. But
we all had. It took a while. We had to take a break. We all had to.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard. I think when I'm trying to do this go around, I thought about a lot during when I wasn't doing anything. It's trying to make it a little bit more positive. I think I was having a lot of discussions around, not that it's bad, not that it's bad to talk about these things, but all your mental health and dwelling in that too much, and it just gets kind of depressing. It's like,
oh yeah,
if other veterans are going to be joining in on this or listening, or just even civilians, I don't want everybody to think God damn, man, fucking veterans just are fucking down and out, man. They sound so miserable, because that's not how it is, So let's go around when I just have it a little bit more fun, because even the ones I do, there's a few that I listen to that do that same thing, where it's man, just harping on the negative aspects of being in the military and then being a civilian / veteran. It's not that bad. There's great times, and
and the biggest thing I think is finding your niche. I think we talked about that last time. Just finding your little world, and that's, I think, where the mental health is the thing. You got to find your little thing to kind of bounce back on track. And it takes a while, but I'm now noticing people are starting to create their own things, and I think that the whole owning your own business is an awesome opportunity for vets. We get, just like you have your coffee company, or I'm sorry, your podcast, and it's your own thing. You can take a break if you want to. You can grow it at the speed that you want and do what you need. So it's just a beautiful thing, and I think that's what I'm digging right now, is that opportunity where business creates a life for themselves. That's such a cool thing. I'm so shocked. I got a recent one. I just did one guy who's doing renovations, specifically for kitchens. So he does cabinets, and small business owner. He was 20 years in the Marines. Motherfucker's badass. I can't believe that. And
no shit.
Yeah, and now he's doing his little business, and it's growing really well too. And it's fucking cool, you can tell he was struggling. So I guess me and him were talking, and he got out 6 years ago. And for the past 6 years, he's been job hopping. I was like, how many jobs did you go through? He's like, I think somewhere in the high teens. I was
Damn.
Like, yeah. He was like, yeah. He's like, you get into a job, you think it's great, and then you see just the bullshit. And he's like, I did that for 20 fucking years in the military. He's like, I don't want to do it again. He went from being a mailman to Amazon to insurance, and I was hopping everywhere, just trying to find his niche. And he started helping out with a friend that was doing some construction, and they saw oh, you're really good. And he's like, yeah, I really enjoy how a cabinet looks and making sure everything came out perfectly in line. And so I was like, oh, that's good. And that was his thing. He was like, you know what? He's like, he found a supplier. He found how to do it all. He has all the gear. He bought himself a F-250 right at the tail end while he's in the military, paid it off right before he got out. He's like, you know what? Bought a trailer so he has all the gear already, and now that's what he does. And I talked to him recently, and it's only been a month. And he's like, yeah, I'm on my third job now, and he's like, it's starting to move. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's you got to find something that makes you happy, man. At the end of the day, that's what's kind of cool about, I guess, being in the military and in general. You get so many different experiences and skills and little ticks that you don't even realize you have. But man, once you start doing stuff in the civilian world, because it's hard to find that niche or that thing. But once you find it, it's oh crap, I'm actually good at this, or you like doing it, and you can make a decent living doing it. It's why not?
Yeah. He he even I think he was with the police department as well, and he was just like, nah. He's like I already put my body through enough. I'm done on that one.
Well, that's kind of like the stereotypical transition for a lot of, I think, Marines and like Army folks in particular. It's like firefighter, police work, or something like that. Like that's just, I don't know. Not to say it's bad. Obviously, I get why a lot of them do that. I'm sure the camaraderie aspect is pretty similar to being in the military.
Yep.
But man, I almost feel like outside looking in, we're trading like one set of problems for another set of problems, because I'm sure they see some shit too, you know. And then it's like, man, that's just a mental, I feel like I don't know, overload from being on the boots on the ground to boots on the street, so to speak, you know.
It's interesting, and I'm digging this little growth that people are doing. I'm kind of watching that a little bit more, because I definitely want to see more veterans. You know, I was told with my the bank that I work with, they said like we can do like workshops and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I definitely want to do something like that for our community up here in North County, San Diego. I think that's what I'm going to be working on over the next 6 months, is getting a kind of like a presentation and what you need to be prepared to start a business, get the accounts and everything organized, so this way you can start progressing. And so I think that's going to be necessary. And maybe when I do, I'll go ahead and give you a little preview as well on a podcast, because I think that would be a good thing for a lot of vets. Because I know so many motherfuckers are like, oh, I got this idea, but I don't know how to get the ball moving, you know, and especially, you know, setting up a business. And so I think I want to work on that on our next one. I'm going to try to see if I can get some info and get that organized and start, you know, bouncing some ideas off of you, bro.
All right. Yeah, because it's intimidating, you know, like starting something like that. And I think a lot of veterans, including myself, like I don't realize all the stuff that we have available for us, like all the resources.
Yes.
I mean, because you're kind of touched on it. You kind of touch on it when you're like transitioning out, but it's not like a major thing. And then, or not even touch on at all in some aspects, you know, but like GI bills and zero down payments on houses, all these things you don't really know exist possibly, or like I think there's like business loans for veterans and stuff out there.
Yeah,
like
we get so many as well too through the SBA Small Business Administration. There's so many things that are just ready right here, like, and they're wanting to, especially for veterans. Like, hey, what do you want to do? Let me show you some options. And so we, that's a big thing for me right now. I'm digging that because I'm working with the SBA out here, and it's just such a cool thing that it's there. You know, if you have the idea, you know, what you need to do is something I want to get concrete, organized, and be like, here, bro, follow these steps to help get the ball moving, and let's go from there. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I really want to do that because that's such a cool thing. Like, because I'm watching some, like, another one was he did pool services before he got out at 8 or after 8 years, and was like, you know what, I have enough to start it up on my own. And he got it all organized, you know, got the business. He wanted to, because it's pool, he instead of doing small proprietorship, he did LLC. And so he got that all organized with the LLC, and that's where he's at now. And now I did not know, man, pool guys make some money. Shit.
Because I don't think people like to do it themselves either, man. Like that's you don't want to fuck it up kind of a situation with chlorine and all that. So it's like, get somebody that knows exactly what they're looking at and what they're doing.
Exactly. Yeah. Homeboy was pulling in $160K a year when he was with a team. It was just like 3 guys, but he wanted to do his own thing, and he's now pulling in right around 200K. I was like, shit. He's like, I'm looking at the numbers. I can see it already, like, growing. He's like, I'm getting a new client at least every other week. I was like, wow. He was like, he's like, pools. He's like, people just want to deal with that shit, you know, the chemicals and everything. He's like, I was impressed. So that he has a good schedule as well too. He starts in the morning. He's done by like 2:00. Go grabs his kids, heads home. And I was like, that's good life, man. That's good life right there.
That's what you want at the end of the day. Yeah, it's be with their kids and stuff or your family more often. But I think it's a cool idea, man, because I think you had brought it up last time we talked to you. Like when you were creating like a kind of a pamphlet for folks, so like how to move up the ranks or something like that, if I remember right. So I think that's a great idea. Now transition it to for veterans, like, hey, here's a kind of like a step-by-step.
I didn't even think about it that way.
Yeah, here's a step-by-step on how to, or some of the basics, on how to get a business going, how to get your idea pushing up the hill a little bit. I think that's
exactly.
That's cool that you can take some of the things you did before in the past and translate it now, even though you didn't realize you were doing it.
I did, yeah. And you know what? That's what I think educating, or people entirely is just an important thing. Like, hey, what you need to do, just get it moving. In the military is simple. Okay, you got to have education, you got to have your work, and then you got to do collateral duties. Do those three. That's how you start moving forward. And everyone knew, but didn't understand how to get the education, or didn't understand how to do the collaterals. What's going to be comfortable for what they enjoy doing. Blah 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 blah. And so I got that organized, and that was great. I'm watching some that are now going to be chiefs in the military that were literally with me, and when we both came in, and I'm watching them now. They're full time, or one's going to be in line to get senior chief now, which is fucking awesome. Especially on the Navy side, for all the Navy vets that are watching, they know that's a hell of a process to get to that point. And you're watching someone, but it was those beginning steps. I showed one how to get a bachelor's degree and get most of it covered. And next thing you know, I get a text message or email, I think it was, he's like, yo, dude, I just got my bachelor's, super excited. He's like, I think I'm going to go for warrant officer. And I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, bro. Hell yeah. And so now I'm seeing it now, like as everyone's coming out, they're like going to do their thing. And a lot of them, police department, border patrol, what is it? A mailman, get your pension. Totally get it. Get 2 checks at the end of the career. Some of them though are just like, I don't want to do that no more. And they want to have their own thing. And I think setting up a business, understanding how to put money away for retirement, getting all that organized, I think that would be a huge thing for a lot of peeps. So yeah, I think that's my little side project I'm gonna be working over for the rest of the year.
That sounds good, man. I mean, I'm sure there's things you can take away from those conversations and help your business, keep growing and stuff like that. I think that's what's cool too. Like seeing the posts you've had and stuff where you guys are doing stuff like that. Like you're saying the car shows and stuff like, man, that's badass. You're out there freaking literally grinding,
like everyone's always like, you really do that? They're like, don't you have like 2 doctorates and stuff? I was like, I love it. Like I'm hanging out with car guys. They pull up with a brand, or not brand new, but like a fully redone, 33 Hot Rod or 57 Bel Air. They're wanting to have some good coffee. You find out they were, Navy or Army. I love it. I sell some coffee, chit chat with a bunch of military. It's a cool gig, and I'm watching just this thing slowly grow, and we're finally like upgrading and updating all of our logos and banners and shirts, and we're keeping everything the same. But I had a lot of thing that was like not camo, but like it was like a rustic wood with a very plain logo on all of it. Stuff. It is what it was, but now I wanted to actually have a little bit more of a brand, and that's where we're heading down now. And I'm digging this. It's going to be really cool. So we get new shirts, new banners. I got a couple of hats coming in as well too, and I'll send you one, brother. You got to help rep it on your show.
Well, I will. I mean, I rip like everything I get. Like this one.
Support women.
This one. I think I also got my sweats. I even changed my sweats from this morning. Got my left foot, right foot sweats on.
Nice, brother.
Well, I was gonna pull up. I'm trying to remember how to do this here. It's been a minute. Let's see here. How the hell? Damn, it has been definitely a minute. How the heck did I pull this thing up? I'm gonna pull up your website. I'm trying to remember how to do it.
Oh man, and that's the other thing. I'm trying to get that organized. That's my next step, and I got a couple of vets that are really good at doing some web design. So we're probably going to grab them and get them involved as well. The people that are designing the shirts and everything, that's also veterans. That's actually Project 22, and Project 22, they've been helping out a lot on my end as well too. I'm trying to throw them some more cash and what I can, but yeah, it's a process. We're making it all work.
Yeah, that part's kind of intimidating. I think like God, I did everything by myself, like my website and everything. I didn't design it, but I used like some place, that has like layouts, and I kind of just fucked around with it for a while.
Yeah.
To make it work, but man, I wish I had somebody. I thought about that. Oh crap!
Yeah, well, Project 22 Vets. He's all about the graphic design, web design. So definitely, if you want that name, Sean, awesome guy. I mean, he helps train the emotional support pets, and that's going to be his thing. He just got out of the military, or he got out of the military and then went and he's EOD for the police department. And then now he's his side business is what he's trying to get out of all of that. He's trying to do the graphic design, all that good stuff. So, it's nice to watch. It's nice to watch all that happen for him too.
Yeah, that's what, like you're saying, man. It's nice to see other folks succeed. Also, like at the end of the day, it's cool because they're people and if you know their struggles even before they started succeeding, it makes it that much sweeter. I think and you can tell they appreciate it. You appreciate it as a friend or whatever. Also, like, man, like look at you doing the work, like stuff like that, especially web design. God, I don't know how freaking people do web design because
that whole HTML5 and Python, whatever, all that stuff, man. It's impressive to people that can figure out coding, and I mean that's going to be the way of the future. I mean, but at the same time, we got those AI things where you're like, you could basically contact the little chat GPT thingy, whatever. You say, hey, design a new logo, and I want this, and then 3 seconds later, design everything you need, organize. It's unbelievable.
It's starting to get freaking nuts, man. Like the AI stuff is starting to get kind of trippy from what I've seen and stuff. Like people post, there's some crazy shit. Somebody, I know it's way off topic, but I saw or heard on the radio somebody was saying like somebody sent an AI thing to like somebody's grandmother saying like, and it showed like her grandson had died or something. So she thought it was real, and she had like a freaking massive panic attack, and but he was actually alive. It's like, fuck, man.
Yeah. It's what was it? One of the AIs, he got a roadblock when he was trying to set up something. And so the AI, it was a crazy story to hear that they wanted to prove how smart this AI is. And he was supposed to do like some type of design or something, but it had that little code or that little thing where to show that you're not a robot, select these little thingies. Well, the fucking thing went onto some website to where you can get someone to set things up. It paid the person to do it. And it literally, all the person really did was just do the little click, got it in, sent it over to him, done. Unbelievable. Like
fucking some Terminator shit right there, man.
Exactly, Oh my gosh, that was just a scary thought that could happen. And I heard the guy from either Google or Apple that helped design was like, I quit too. He's like, this is going to be a bad thing. And yeah, man,
that's a legit fear, man. Like, and it's stupid. I guess. I always think of fucking Terminator. I know it's like hell random, but like even years ago when they're like doing like bringing robots and stuff into the fold, I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. I remember this shit when I was a kid. I remember Terminator. I know it's a movie, but man, have you seen the one that can kind of think for herself? Like they put like a fake. It has like a skin look. It looks like a woman.
Yeah,
she was on like a Tonight Show or something. She beat somebody at when the host on like rock paper scissors, and she's like, "This is part of my plan to dominate the human race or end the human race." And it's like, ha 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 ha. I was like, "Oh, shut it off."
Yeah, turn it off, man.
Pull the plug on that thing, man.
Serious. Oh my God. I remember, what was it? They had two AIs, and one's trying to talk to the other one, and that one's trying to talk to the other one. And they're like, so they wound up starting to create a language, like to understand one another. And the guys that were designing or that were overseeing, like the engineers, whatever, they saw, they're like, whoa, and like it's trying to figure out how to talk to one another. And as soon as they saw it, they shut them both down. And I was like, dude, that's not good. That's not good at all. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's a pull the plug moment for sure.
Serious. So I have a gut feeling we're going to see some pretty fucked up shit. Like they're saying, like now for video games, they're going to have that involved as well too. And now it's going to learn fucking war tactics. That's great. It's basically what I'm seeing when they say that type of shit. I'm like, oh my God, like,
well,
Sky is right around the corner, bro.
It's like kind of stupid also, but like freaking Marvel movies, or Marvel has like Ultron and shit. Like they make it like a robot, and then he like gets on the internet and realizes people are just fucking destroying the planet. So he's like, "Fuck humans! I'm gonna kill all you guys." Like,
yeah, man, shit.
I'm just saying, man, because that's a horrible idea. I think
so.
It might be cool for in the moment when it starts talking. You're like, "Oh, that's cool," but
oh shit, man! I keep thinking of what was it? I think it was iRobot with Will Smith. Was that?
Oh yeah.
Where like it figured out, like it starts talking, that one that was smart and everything. It figured it out how to kind of talk, but it saw like, oh, what we need to do to protect human races, basically treat them like animals and cage them. Yeah. And then I just, oh my God, that's just going to be bad all around is what I'm seeing. Like, oh fuck, here we go.
Yeah, it was like the OG one or something. It was like the first one that was like made out of the bunch, and he's like, fuck humans, basically. Yeah. After a while, he's like, nah, we gotta start killing you guys. It's like, what?
I know that AI that's being built, or those AIs that are being built, they're going to slowly learn. And when they learn that shit.
Yeah, if they can learn how to communicate with each other, they'll be watching what we're doing. They're like, these guys are like yelling at each other and shit. They're like, these guys are crazy. We gotta just wipe them out, man. That's exactly. It's a legit fear, man. Like I don't get it. I don't get the excitement behind it. Maybe it's just me, but
I'm kind of wondering where it goes, and we'll see what happens. But I hope they put some blockage or something. But I know, just like with everything, it will. What was it that Jurassic Park? Life finds a way. We created a life now. It's going to find a way to be its own. So we'll see. That's my tin hat on right now, or my aluminum foil hat. But that's just some sketchy shit, man. Some sketchy shit.
Yeah, it is. Oh man, my daughter's going crazy.
Oh yeah.
But she gets mad at her brother. I just hear her scream. But yeah, it's a legit one, man. I don't know what's going to happen with everything. Kind of freaks me out, but. Like, man, I told my wife at one point, I was like, this is when I wish I was like super old, It's like everything's falling apart. I got like a handful of years left. Like, who cares at this point? Like, that's the gig. That's the spot to be in. Like, I envy my grandparents sometimes. Like, shit. Like, fuck, man. You're in your 80s, it's like, oh, if everything goes to shit, whatever. Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it, yeah. I think we're at that point where a lot of people are kind of just are in that phase, and I think we're coming into 2024, the next political run as well, and so we're going to be watching some more drama and bullshit. Oh God, this is just going to. I think that's why, like what you said, turn off the news, focus on yourself. Do what you can when it comes to your voting. Just be happy. This is going to be a shit show for the next year, is what I'm thinking.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like that's when people gotta like stop just listening to everything that's being told to them and do some research, man. Formulate your own thoughts and opinions on anything, politics, freaking starting a business. So many people are going to tell you not to do it because it's too risky. Just do your research. Like do it yourself. See if it's for you. Find your own opinions, your own thoughts, your own learn. Gain some knowledge. Exactly. You're not going to gain it by being told from a news source that, hey, this is the truth and that's it.
Yeah,
this is how it is and that's it.
Oh yeah,
so you get brainwashed.
Exactly. I think I'm definitely going to be doing that whole what's it called, that little presentation for business. I think just to help out, give them some good websites to research and things to check out, because I think people need to have a little help in that direction. It's hard finding the first step on anything. I mean, but once you find it, you can get the ball moving. And so,
I think that's true too. Yeah, I mean, it gets overwhelming searching, even trying to find the right foothold. Like, where do I start? Where do I find that first site where I can, or that first article or whatever it is, or that first company that can kind of help me get the ball rolling. It is hard to do that.
Oh yeah. And so, we're doing that on our end. I'm about to start another business. I got it for my properties. I got lucky. The wifey and I, we have a few, and so we're doing this property management, and we're trying to get that ball all organized as well. But going through the whole process again is kind of fun. Like, building the name and and the website and or buying and getting whatever supplies you need to get it organized, and starting the LLC and how to plug it in. I'm back in the game again, and so it's cool. It's a cool thing.
That's good to have your own coffee company, man. Sounds like you need it, man. It's like shit. You got like 12 different things going on at once.
Shit, I just got lucky. It's a weird like little ball going of how it's running, but I got lucky. I got an amazing wife who's supporting it all, and she understands. It's the tax benefits that do come with having an LLC, and we're doing renovations and all that stuff. Just it can get a little pricey. I mean, you know how it goes. Buying anything right now in California for fucking reno is just ridiculous. So if there are ways you can save, LLC technically, I'm fucking doing it.
I know I need to do that. I've thought about a bunch doing it for my podcast, doing an LLC, but like on the fence about doing it. But it's like I probably should just do it just to do it, because I eventually want to get some merchandise and down the road, I think going make something off of it. Hopefully, make a couple bucks. I don't know.
Yeah,
cool. I don't know.
Find something, it'll come when it comes, But definitely, I would recommend it, brother. I would. I always say sole proprietor, simple, cheap. You being a veteran, you don't have to have certain expectations with many banks. They limit a lot of the balances and stuff like that. LLC, I mean, you can use LegalZoom. There's a million fucking websites out there that'll help get that organized, and they're really simple too, But I always tell everyone, as long as you got about $1,000 for the website, an email address, your branding, your clothes and stuff like that, and the LLC, to pay for everything along with the city. About $1,000, maybe $1,500 somewhere in there will cover pretty much all of that to get the ball moving. And once you do that, you're off to the races then.
Shit.
And downside is though, you got to start getting shit organized for taxes every year. So
that's the part I thought about too. It's like, man, just doing more taxes, man. It's just already crazy as it is. I dread tax season. I fucking hate it.
That's the other thing is finding a good CPA. That's out. I'm still looking for a good CPA. Because the ones that I've worked with in the past, I mean, it feels like a half-assed job half the time. So finding someone that can help out with that, because there's so many tax write-offs that you can get. I mean, there's like 300 things that you can write off, from cell phone to gas to shit. Technically what we're doing here, electric and all that crap, all the supplies that you pay for to have the mic and, the camera. So there's a lot of benefits that do come that way. So, maybe we can talk about that. That could be like our next discussion is what's the steps on how to get the LLC organized for the show.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be awesome to do, I'm sure there's other podcasters and stuff for veteran ones that are probably in that same boat too. That'd be kind of fun to do. Or other just folks in general,
Yeah.
It'd be kind of cool to do. Because I've tried to do some research and I haven't dove into it 100% yet, but it's one of those things I need to do, I think, eventually. So
yeah. It's when you're ready, let me know, man. I'd love to help out with getting that organized because it's such a cool thing to watch someone progress on it. It's like you go from mom and pop shop technically is what I call it, of doing it on your own to where now you're starting to make it a world, its own entity, its own little ball, and it's cool to watch it happen. And it takes time. It ain't going to be making no fucking money, and you're going to be like feeling like for the next 5, maybe 10 years, it feels like it's just dumping money into it. But after a while, it turns into something. What is it? They say if you put I think it was 10 years or 20 years into anything, that's when you become a master at it. And it was some Japanese saying, I think it was, and 10, 20 years of hard work and whatever it is that you do, after that, you are a master at that. And it's True. I've only been roasting coffee like 4 or 5 years now, and I'm still learning and still growing and testing and trying and buying some random things. And I just went to Egypt to try it out there for our honeymoon. We had like this Turkish coffee, and I've had it before, but I've never seen like the whole process. And yeah, it's just it's a different world. It's a different way of doing things, and I'm learning it. It's fun though as you progress to become the master in your field.
Yeah, like you said, to separate yourself from your, I guess, competitors or your peers or whatever. Yeah, you gotta find those things.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm looking forward to like somewhere along the line, because I've had a lot of vets that are like, hey, I want to be involved somehow. I'm looking forward to like quote unquote franchise it out for them to go ahead and learn and get the same process of what I'm doing wherever they're at. Because one, it doesn't make a whole lot right now, but I know the profit margins is pretty substantial once you actually build, your brick and mortar. But it's a great opportunity just for anyone that's like, hey, how many vets, we drank fucking coffee like as if it was fucking water more than anything.
It's pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah. So to actually be able to have something a little bit more quality, something to enjoy. And I always thought that would be a great thing. And so that's what I started. And I didn't know, but a lot of vets kind of like that idea as well too. So that's what I'm hoping to do, is definitely to probably the next 5 years, hopefully start getting people on board as well too, helping them and building this little business model wherever they're at. It's just a side gig. You want to turn it into a full on, brick and mortar, kudos. We're helping out other vets and veteran nonprofit organizations. Let's do this, And so I got people that are, because Veterans Brewing Company, I got vets that are wanting to do like alcoholic beverages, and looking forward to working with them, because I definitely want that to happen as well. Because I know a lot of vets enjoy and have a nice, good, cold beer, and there's some guys that are like, they're ready, and I'm like, well, let me know when you feel a little bit more comfortable and you have scaled, your garage, is what some of them are doing it out of right now, into an actual business. And I got 2 right now. One, he does peanut butter beer.
Oh, that's cool.
Dude, that shit was fucking great. It was amazing. It was like a peanut butter like sandwich, I was just like, oh my God. A chocolate beer. They had this raspberry one. It was really good too. And then those what is it? The one with the orange, Blue Moon.
Oh yeah.
One, he made a Blue Moon type, but it was so fresh. Like, it was so good. And I was just like, oh man, it threw Blue Moon, under the rug, man, compared to what this was. I was impressed. And so people are, as they're doing the little hobby of dabbling into either coffee or tea or beer, I want to start expanding on those, and I'm looking forward to working with those guys. So there's a lot of things I want to do with the business. So it's going to be pretty fun over the next 5-10 years for sure.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. That's great to hear though, that you guys are still going forward, still cranking it out. I mean, that's what it's all about. So.
Hell yeah. Oh, speaking of, also for any listener, we're going to do the Burmese 30 off. So we're going to do 30% off all coffee plus free shipping with a promo code for you, bud. just to help anyone that wants to try it, check it out, give it a shot, and see how it goes.
Shoot it. Yeah, I'll get that posted up. Get that hopefully moving as well.
Hell yeah! I'm looking forward to it, man. It's going to be fun, and we're going to be having some fun years ahead of us. So I can't wait for the whole truck and everything, because I plan on doing like the whole, family road trips, but I'm gonna have the big logo and help to advertise that shit, all over the world or all over the US. So
hell yeah. I mean, that's a good way to do it, to be honest. I mean, shit.
Yeah, I can't wait. So step by step, we'll see where it goes,
All right, man. Well, you take it easy. Keep grinding out there.
Same. Yeah.
We'll have you on again soon.
Definitely. Yeah. Let's give it maybe a month or so, and then we'll go ahead and start talking about the LLC. And if you want, I'd love to help getting that organized. We can talk about that part. And,
yeah, definitely. I would love to. I mean, it's like I said, some of those things I've thought about for a very long time. It's just putting it in motion. It's kind of I guess the intimidating part of it all, because I feel like once you do it, it's fucking real, So,
well, if you do, man, if you're wanting to, I'd love to show you some of the steps, and and hopefully even your listeners, if someone's there and that's like, what did he do? I would love to just show like a couple of steps to get that ball moving. So that sounds like a fucking awesome way to do it. So
hell yeah,
great,
cool, man. Well, thank you, Daniel. I appreciate you coming back on and everything. So I can't wait to have you on again and talk about that.
Fuck yeah, brother. Well, hey man, thanks again for having me. I appreciate it. I really do.
Anytime. Thank you.